Hi there, and welcome back to Understanding Personal Bankruptcy in Canada, the second of a 5-video introduction series. Today, we will discuss about family heirlooms, personal assets, and your vehicles. People wonder about what will happen to any assets if personal bankruptcy is to be declared. These assets may include a house, a car, family heirlooms, items in the home, and in some cases, a job. In most cases, pensions are excluded from bankruptcy proceedings, except for the last 12 months' contributions. See the exemption list on our forum for more info. Each province has limits as to what personal assets each person can keep. Above these limits, personal assets can be seized by a trustee and can be given to the creditors. Personal assets include household goods, including food, tools of trade, hunting tools, medical aids, life insurance, pets, medals and decorations, and property or gifts given within the last 12 months to friends or family. It's pertinent to understand how exemptions work and what will be kept and what must be surrendered. Let us look at the understanding of asset exemptions as understood by persons who were previously bankrupt. As an example, consider household items in the province of Ontario with an exemption limit of $11,300. The trustee in bankruptcy will ask you, do you have more than $11,300 in value household items? If the answer is no, then they go to the next question. If yes, they will require a list of what is in your home and the value of each. The excess will be seized by the trustee. Note that a trustee will not visit your home to verify these. This question will continue with all assets you have. An email with a complete list of assets that will be queried is to be emailed to all subscribers to this video series. Let's look at personal assets a little closer and begin with a house and personal bankruptcy. The first question that needs to be asked is how much equity do you have in your home? Equity is referred to the value of your home that is not mortgaged. This is the amount of your home that's been paid for, and that will include the down payment that was placed when the purchase completed. This example shows a home with an equity of $45,000. The trustee in bankruptcy has the authority to seize the house, sell it, and use the proceeds to repay those whom the bankrupt owes money. For this to be done, there will be a lawyer fee, real estate commissions, and other fees that will need to be paid for the repossession and sale of the house. The cost for doing this can range from $20,000 to $25,000. The trustee will check the value of the home by consulting with the mortgage provider. If the trustee decides that selling the house, less the cost of the repossession and seizing of the home, is a sizable amount of money to be gained, then the home will be seized and sold. Each province has its own exemption limits or none thereof. However, the final decision on this lies with the trustee in bankruptcy. Provincial exemptions are provided in the next slide. These exemptions are the equity in a home that a trustee will not touch based on the law in different provinces. You may be asking, what are the $0 exemptions in some of the provinces? This is telling you that the entire equity of your home can be put towards repayment of debts. However, the repossession and sale of a home will include lawyers and real estate fees, which in Ontario may cost between $20,000 and $25,000. Therefore, if the equity in the home is not more than this amount, then a trustee will not seize the home and sell it. Please note that this is a guideline, and only a trustee in bankruptcy who is previewing the case can give a verdict on it. If there is much equity in a house, all will be lost in a bankruptcy. In such cases, if applicable, a consumer proposal will enable the owners to keep their house. Consider scenario 1. The equity in the home is equal to the cost of repossession. In such cases, the trustee will leave the house alone. In scenario 2, the net value to the trustee is $60,000. Therefore, the house will be sold. If the trustee chooses to leave the owners with the home, even though there is a $0 exemption limit, this may be a result of having a home with a very high mortgage and no equity. This is probably one of the reasons why some may find themselves in bankruptcy right now. A mortgage can be included voluntarily in the bankruptcy, and a person can be completely debt-free in 9 to 36 months. However, before doing that, moneyandbusiness.ca strongly recommends reading the ebook on 5 things to do before personal bankruptcy. If the vehicle is valued more than these amounts, a payment can be made to the trustee for the difference above this value, or the trustee will sell the vehicle. If there is more than one vehicle, then the trustee will need to be paid the value of the additional vehicle to keep it. If this amount cannot be afforded, then the trustee will seize the second vehicle. If the combined value of 2 or more vehicles is less than the total exemption amounts, the law only allows you to keep one vehicle. Therefore, any additional vehicles will be taken by your trustee. In the asset exemption example given before, household items were mentioned. Household items are anything that is in the home, and that includes the television, sofa, bed, utensils, appliances, and any other valuables in your home. If the household items value above the provincial limits, then the trustee will require a list of everything in your home, and items above the exemption limits will be seized. Note that a trustee in bankruptcy will not visit your home unless in exceptional cases where fraud is suspected. This table shows the exemption limits for the household items for various provinces. There are little differences between the various provinces, and these include the value of items exempted. Nunavut, Saskatchewan, and Yukon are fully exempt. Note the exemption limits for your province. The value of the clothing items that are in a person's possession may be subjected to provincial exemption limits as well. Some provinces allow a person to keep all clothing items, while some will require items above a certain value to be surrendered to the trustee in bankruptcy. Note well the exemption limits for your province or territory. Some provinces and territories have specific dollar value items listed. Orders are listed as necessary. This means that the value of the clothing needed for living is at the discretion of a trustee in bankruptcy. Nunavut and British Columbia are fully exempt. The trustee will not visit your home to examine your clothing items. Some provinces do not mention food items, as these are not considered for seizure, and therefore there are no specific limits set. In other words, these will not be touched. New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Quebec list food items as necessary, and all the other provinces list a time for which food items can be stored. Tools of trades needed for business or income generation generally have a high exemption limit for most provinces. Quebec and Saskatchewan do not have specific instructions for tools of trade, and therefore these may be included in the household items or other items of value. Note the exemption limits for your province or territory. Items such as hunting tools, life insurance policies, and sentimental value items are specifically mentioned in a few provinces. In other provinces, these are simply not mentioned and will be considered just as items of value. In summary, only Newfoundland and Labrador has an exemption limit for sentimental value items such as family heirlooms. Other property will have a limit as to how much can be kept. You are encouraged to preview the tables given in this video. Most provinces allow a person to keep one vehicle below a certain value. If you've enjoyed this video and found it informative, please look at the 3rd video out of the 5-video series which will be sent to you. To come in the next video, a discussion on financial reporting, financial counseling, and your business and how it can be affected by personal bankruptcy. Thank you for watching.